I'm doing good. I hope everyone is doing well. We are still learning at home, and we're talking about clothes. In this book, a pocket for corduroy. Do you have a pocket? This book is written by Don Freeman, and he also illustrated it. A pocket for corduroy. Late one summer afternoon, Lisa and her mother took their laundry to the laundromat. Do you go to the laundromat? Let's see. What is it? What is it? Laundry. It's a whole bunch of clothes or other things like towels and sheets that need to be washed. Laundry. The laundromat was a very busy place. Laundromat, there's lots of washers and dryers. It's a place you go to wash your clothes. Now, corduroy, you sit right here and wait for me, Lisa said. I'm going to help with our wash. So Lisa was going to help her mom. So she sat corduroy in that big chair. Corduroy waited patiently. Then he suddenly perked up his ears. He heard something. Lisa's mother was saying, "Be sure to take everything out of your pockets. You don't want your precious things to get all wet and soapy." So there's Lisa. She's helping her mom and she's checking the pockets. Pockets, said Corduroy. I don't have a pocket. He doesn't have a pocket. He slid off the chair. I must go find something to make a pocket, he said. And he began to look around. There he goes. First he came to a pile of fancy clothes and washcloths. But nothing was the right size or the right color. Then he saw a huge sack of colorful clothes in a laundry bag. There ought to be something in there to make a pocket, he said. Do you think he'll find anything? A big sack. Without hesitating, he climbed right in. It was filled with pieces of wet laundry. Uh-oh, it was all wet. The dampness didn't bother Corduroy in the least. Yep, the dampness, it was a little bit wet. Not a lot. Not soaking, dripping wet. Just a little bit. This must be a cave, he said, singing happily. I've always wanted to live in a cave. A dark, cool cave. When the time came for Lisa to fetch her bear, he was gone. Remember, she put him right on that chair. But he was gone. Where'd he go? He went looking for a pocket. That's right. Mommy, she exclaimed. Corduroy isn't here where I left him. I'm sorry, honey, said Mom. But the laundromat will be closing soon, and we must be getting home. Uh-oh. Corduroy had stepped away, and now the laundromat's closing. Lisa was reluctant to leave without Corduroy, but her mother insisted. We can come back tomorrow, she said. I'm sure he will be just fine. And he will still be here. What do you think? Is Corduroy going to be okay? As they left, a young man wearing an artist's beret was taking his wet laundry out of a bag. The very bag Corduroy had discovered. Remember, he saw that big sack and he went in. It was like a cave. It was that bag right there. Before he knew it, Corduroy was being tossed together with all of the shirts and shorts and slacks. Uh-oh. Do you see him in there? He got stuck in that sack, and now, uh-oh. Is he going to go into the dryer? But just as the artist was shutting the door, Corduroy tumbled out. "How in thunder did you get in there with all my things?" the artist said. Poor Corduroy was damp all over. He was in there with those wet clothes, and he got damp. He got wet too, just a little bit. "The least I can do for him is give him his overalls a good drying," he said. Do you remember his overalls? They're pants, but it has a bib. It has like a bib on top. Sometimes they come over your shoulders and they hook with a buckle or a snap sometimes. Do you have overalls? Do you wear overalls sometimes? Corduroy was wearing overalls. He unbuttoned Corduroy's shoulder straps and put his overalls in the dryer. And there's Corduroy with no clothes on now. Corduroy grew very dizzy as he watched the clothes spinning around. The artist became inspired. "This would make a wonderful painting," he said. And he took a sketch pad out of his pocket and began drawing. Lots of colors. "I can hardly wait to get back to my studio," he said. Finally, the dryer stopped. It stopped whirling, and the man gathered up the clothes for Corduroy. Then he helped Corduroy put on his warm, dry overalls. All at once, the manager of the laundromat called, "Closing time! Everybody out!" Corduroy was gently placed on top of a washing machine. "I wonder who that bear belongs to," said the artist as he was leaving. "Seems to me he should have his name someplace. He's too fine a fellow to be lost." Well, as soon as the lights were out, off went Corduroy. He began his search again. Do you remember? What was he looking for? A pocket, something to be his pocket. He saw something white glowing in the dark. "Maybe it's snow," he said. "I've always wanted to play in the snow." What do you think? At the laundromat? What is that? Is that snow? I don't know. He accidentally tipped over the open-lidded box, and suddenly he was covered with soft, slippery soap flakes. It wasn't snow, it was soap. Uh-oh. Gradually, Corduroy began to slip and slide. "Oh, what fun," he said. "I've always wanted to slide down a steep mountainside." It's very slippery, and he slid down just like in the snow. Whee! He landed right in an empty laundry basket. "This must be a cage," he said. Peeking through the bars, "I've never wanted to live inside of a cage like a bear in the zoo." But by now, Corduroy felt very drowsy. He was getting very tired, and soon he nodded off to sleep, sleeping in that laundry basket. The next morning, when the manager came to open the store, he opened up the laundromat. There was Lisa waiting. "I left something here yesterday," she explained. "May I look around?" "Certainly," said the manager. "My customers are always leaving things." Have you ever left anything at the laundromat? Lisa was searching under the chairs and in back of the washing machines when she heard the manager call her. Is this what you're looking for? He saw him in the laundry basket. Yes, he's my best friend, shouted Lisa as she came running over. She reached in and picked Corduroy up out of the basket. So this is where you've been, you little rascal, she said. It's time I took you home. She found him, and there she goes. Lisa thanked the manager and ran out the door and down the street, holding Corduroy tightly in her arms. I thought I told you to wait for me, she said. Why did you wander away? I went looking for a pocket, Corduroy said. Oh, Corduroy, why didn't you tell me you wanted a pocket? Asked Lisa, giving him an affectionate squeeze. And she's taking him home. That very morning, Lisa sewed a pocket on Corduroy's overalls. And here is a card I made for you with your name on it, for you to keep inside of your pocket. I've always wanted a purple pocket with my name tucked inside, said Corduroy. And he and Lisa nuzzled noses. Corduroy got a pocket. And he put his name inside. I wonder what else he can fit in there. What do you put in your pockets? I have pockets today. I like pockets. Put your hands in them. Find some goodies. Thanks for joining me. See you next time.